they left me tied up for it felt like an hour. And when you tie somebody up, you're never supposed to leave them. You don't leave the room. That's dangerous. But they did, and I said, "Where are you guys going?" And they all left and I was in a warehouse in the boiling Las Vegas heat, and I'm like, "I need a pee, let me untied," and they would not untie me. So I pissed all over the floor. And when I came back, he just made his assistant, who's his ex-wife, just clean it up. And I was like, "Well, why wouldn't you guys untie me?" Well, it just took too long to tie you up, so we just figured we'd leave you tied. I'm like, that's inhumane. And it's fucked up.
That's called trauma.
Yeah. So
okay, don't get into porn.
Yes.
Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Tacos and Shawarma with your hosts, Al and Sebastian. Today, we are here with Christiana Sin, adult entertainer and entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited for the tacos. When do they get here?
They'll get here eventually.
All right.
Yeah,
as long as it takes.
When he starts making phone calls. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm really excited that you're here.
I love your look.
Thank you.
You're so much fun to look at.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I just wanted to start off by saying I wanted to talk about the Andrew Tate situation. I know we're just gonna jump into that because Sebastian is a hater and he sent me the article 2 days ago saying that he was charged, and you can see my shirt. I just want to say that
wait, is he in jail right now?
No, he's not in jail, but they charged him with human trafficking.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So I just want to say a few things. So they charged Andrew Tate with human trafficking. I want to say that I stand behind you 100%. I don't believe anything. Not that I don't believe anything they say about you, but I think the reason they're charging you right now is because you have massive influence with the young male youth, and you're
just with everybody. Isn't he the top person on TikTok, followed person?
Yeah. And I think that they're just trying everything that he kind of represents is what they're trying to tear down. So he's kind of fucking with the establishment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, certain things though, he kind of does have himself to blame for certain things. There was clips of him talking and things that he said in his programs that I think they're coming back and they're oh, whoa, wait a minute. This is kind of something that they don't like. But with the BBC interview, I think they messed up on that one. They completely messed up because when somebody does an interview right when they're about to do trial, it's one or two things. They feel like they're not being heard or they want to tell their side of the story. And I think with Andrew Tate, I think he feels like he's not being heard. So when they went in there, the interviewer should have been more attractive, okay? Plain and simple. She should have looked like you. She should have been hot, had it together, awake, bright-eyed, "Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much for welcoming to your beautiful home you have. So, let's talk about you. She should have been, but she came in hot, right out the gate.
First of all, why didn't she have makeup on?
Yes.
What the fuck? Why did she look like...
She wasn't bad, but they could have given her a makeover.
She looked like a fucking zombie. She looked like she was dead. A walking dead. They could have given her a
makeover. They really could have. And they could have been okay, get a good night's sleep before you do this interview because you're going to go...
A good night's sleep at the BBC. Where's your makeup artist? Where's your hair fucking team? Right. Look at her hair. Her hair was a mess. She had no fucking makeup on. Yeah. What the fuck was she wearing?
Yeah.
Maybe I feel like they did that on purpose. I don't know.
Why would they do that to her though? On purpose? What was the point?
It was stupid.
Yeah, it really was.
We want to interview you.
Yes, because what I would want to do with Andrew Tate, I just would want to have him explain, why does he think everybody is coming after him?
Because he keeps saying the truth. So,
and what is the truth? He has this platform right here, right now. What is the message that you want to share that everybody seems to be missing? That's what I would want him to explain.
The message is that he's telling men to stop being fucking pussies, go to the gym, get to work, find a wife, have kids, and basically the establishment is just trying to tear that down and put fucking estrogen in the fucking water and make men fucking weak, and so so many people love Andrew Tate, and they see that he's like disrupting situations, and they're like, if you don't be quiet, we're gonna show you. Doesn't matter how much money you have, we're way more powerful than you, and we're gonna fuck up your life.
Well, then that's a good point, but it seems to me that maybe some of the things that he's saying is deeper than just what you mentioned, because he talks about banking systems, he talks about money, he talks about how it really works, and where he's got the knowledge from. So I think maybe that's what they're trying to silence. I'm not quite sure.
I think it's all of it. The vaccine thing, the COVID thing.
Like, she was trying to blame him. They're like, oh, they're saying that it's your fault that everybody's kid is a douchebag, and it's your fault. I'm like, whoa. Since when is it his job to raise everybody else's kids? It's not.
I don't even know if I watched it.
I watched it all, and I'm just like, it's not his fault for like
it was
raising
so
like kids.
Dreary, like it was like gloomy.
But I mean, yeah. Then my favorite part was like, he's like, no, you're not in here giving me an interview. She's like, yes, I am. You're here to answer the question. He said, no, I'm not. That part was funny, but no, it's interesting. It was good television, but it could have been better.
So you watched the entire interview?
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm going to talk about something, I want to know what I'm talking about. You know, I watched it all.
Oh, you knew we were going to talk about Andrew Tate?
I had no idea.
It's just topic.
I was just at home watching the interview of the BBC.
Did you watch the Patrick Bet-David interview?
No, I only had time for Andrew Tate.
Sorry. No, he was on that interview. Like, he had another interview after the BBC interview. It was 5 hours long.
Oh, okay.
And then his brother had an interview. And I just want to say, like, his brother is fucking solid as shit. Like, if I wish I had a brother like that, and I think like that their relationship is really beautiful.
Yeah. Because but they the way that they came in swinging. I'm like, you don't go to somebody's house like that. You know, you're not even on neutral ground. You're on his turf. So that's like the laws of power 101. You got to like come in super prepared, super nice, super open to what they're gonna say, and not come in blaming them with a list of things. That's not how you do it to anybody. You know,
it's weird.
Right?
It was very weird.
What'd you think?
I didn't watch it. I spend zero. No, I'm not a hater at all. I spend zero of my mental energy thinking about Andrew Tate or like looking at any of his stuff. The only reason why he's ever on my feed now is because Al brings him up, and you know your phones are always listening. Andrew Tate content always comes up on my phone, right? So the one I did send her that post the other day about talking about the fact that he got charged with sex trafficking and rape, right? Serious charges. Have that go to court, figure it out, you know, let justice do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, but sometimes there is no justice.
But also some of the evidence is things that he did say, and there's videos of him saying it. He took a video of himself saying certain things. So it's like
what?
He's got to explain that. What's the video? You guys want to watch it?
What? Tell me which one.
The videos of, I think I'm not sure what it was from, but there's a video that he took of himself, and I don't know, looks like an office. I don't know if it's his office, but he's very comfortable in there. And he said, okay, number one, you got to get the girl, and you can't bring up the webcam, and you got to just take her on a couple dates, fuck her, and then you got to bring it up. And then she'll do what you want to do because she's in love. You got to give her the PhD test. And I'm like, PhD, like pimp and hose something? Like, I don't know what PhD even means. I'm not sure. That's just a guess. But so like, basically they're saying that is coercion and emotional and sexual manipulation.
Oh, please. He's a Sagittarius just like me, and he just says shit for shock value. You have to be a certain type of person to be able to take a girl, to get her to prostitute herself, to fall in love with you. No guy can be taught that. You have to have that already in you.
So his programs are garbage? What?
I don't know. I don't think he teaches that anymore.
Okay. Well, I don't even know when this video was made, but it is a video, and everything they're saying is kind of because he put it out there by his words. So that's why I'm like, oh, it kind of seems like you got yourself into a little bit of a pickle here, Andrew.
The only video that mattered when I watched it, and I sent it to Elle, was a video in which he's talking about screwing somebody who looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger but has a vagina, or looks like Megan Fox but has a dick. And he said it is he's like, it is more gay to sleep with the Arnold Schwarzenegger with the vagina than it is the Megan Fox with the dick. And in the video, he says he would fuck Megan Fox with a dick. And that is the only video that I've ever really paid attention to. And I sent it to her inbox.
Why is he saying that?
Because he's a hater.
Not because I'm a hater.
No. Why is Andrew Tate? Why did that even come up?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why is that even a choice? Why do you have to choose between the two?
Was this something that you were faced with?
Al absolutely loves him. She literally sends him "I love you" into his inbox.
I hope he reads it
from his IG.
He doesn't
from the
read
IG.
It.
No.
Wait, they have Twitter in jail?
He's not in jail.
Oh, okay. Well, just saying. If you ever needed to get a hold of him,
okay,
I think because they have a lot of time to read your messages
and letters. Right?
It would probably even like be good for you guys if you guys wanted to get together. If he was incarcerated, you could put money on his books. You could like write him letters. He could write you back. He'll have a lot of
dated
time.
somebody in prison before.
I didn't. My friend did. And I remember even going.
The second you brought up money on the books,
right? But for her, she loved it because she's like, I always know where he is. I know he's not talking to she's in. Yeah. It was good for her
because she's insecure. I don't like
probably.
That.
She's probably extremely insecure, but her relationship worked out for her.
But you should take advantage of it if he's going to be in like a single spot. Like write some letters and send them
say when you get out, I would love you to come on my show and tell me your
side of the story.
Not even side of the story, but like explain what everybody has so wrong about you, Andrew. Because I understand you like no one else.
Yeah,
you gotta do it like that.
I probably do, but I wish that I had that side to me. I'm more like,
I'll do it for you. We will team up.
All right.
Tag team.
That's good.
Yeah, and then you could have your first like part of the series called like In Bed with Elle, and she'd be like In Bed with Andrew Tate, and then you could like that'll be your number one first episode.
A great spin-off to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, would you be making us breakfast or what?
Oh, if you want a horrible breakfast, yeah.
I'd have to be making
the kitchen's on fire, and I'm like, I'm almost done.
So I'd be making the breakfast, and she would have to be like the naked one, and then I'd have to. When I bring the breakfast, I'll throw her out, and then I'll go in the bed.
Sounds like a compromise.
Yeah, she'll just keep him occupied while I'm cooking. That works.
Okay, I'll do my best.
We talk a lot about dating. We talk a lot about like traditional roles within dating. Like alpha males, just like what Andrew Tate puts out there, right? Like what is an alpha male? What is his role within a relationship, et cetera, et cetera. Like we kind of beat that drum every single week, right? And it's like, I guess there is some importance to the topic for us to be like talking about it in general.
Yeah, I'm not even the kind of like lady I think that Andrew Tate like talks about being a ideal woman because I've done porn, so probably like it's probably like not in the category. It's probably like no, she's had way too many dicks in her life. No. But I even though that's that was my career and that's what I was told in the beginning, like, oh, you'll never find a husband if you do this. And it's not true. I found a great partner because there is somebody out there who likes freaks and likes freaky girls and likes experienced girls. And my partner was like, I don't want a girl I have to train again. I just want somebody that's already like that. And I'm like, perfect.
Who do you have to train? Train what, sexually?
Yeah.
So he's into S&M?
Well, he's just into like, like
kink?
Freaky, fun, cool shit. Like, because also, too, if a guy's been with enough women in his life, he does not want the same old, same old. He wants something like fun and adventurous, creative that maybe a girl that hasn't really been with that many partners can't just come up with on her own. You kind of needed experience. He just wanted somebody more experienced, which
How long have you been with him?
2 years.
Do you get bored of the sex?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No. Mm-mm.
Is your longest relationship?
I think so. Yeah.
And you're still like into like when
we're super into each other.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I mean, we keep things spicy, but it's because like we're both like secure within each other, and we're both like.
When you say spicy, do you mean you bring other people into your bedroom? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because
just wanted to clear that up for you. That's what you meant.
For us, it's like we either going to do it together or not really at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's just what our bedroom is like, and that's just what we're into. But
how do you do it? Is it other porn stars, or you find a girl that you think is cute, or is it guys too, or is it whoever?
Just whoever. No, it's not just whoever. So like we'll go to like parties and events, and we'll like kind of maybe find other couples.
I like the little plug that you just did. Very very nice.
Thank you. And we'll mostly like find like other couples or like a unicorn, as they call it, just like a beautiful like single girl who's like curious. And like that's who I was, you know, a few years ago. So I know that it's out there. And yeah.
And within the confines of your relationship, it's understood and you guys are super happy.
Yes.
Congratulations, by the way, on the
Thank
engagement.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, she has a sick ring. It's fucking huge. You want to show it to the world?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that's when somebody asks me about it, I'm like, oh, somebody loves me a lot.
So, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but I also just like wanted to give like a testament to girls out there who've like done porn, done sex industry, whatever. Because a lot of people do say, oh, no one will ever love you. No one will ever want to marry you. And it's just not true.
Did you ever buy into that when they told you that?
You know what? I think maybe a little bit for certain things I did because it came from people who I respected a lot and who I actually never thought would tell me anything like that. But I said, you know what? I'm already in it now. Eventually, somebody will find me. There's so many people in this world. There's got to be some guy out there who's done it all, seen it all, and really just wants to have fun and enjoy his life with somebody really cool and fun. You know?
Like, do you have kids?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Do you want kids?
I do. I think I would be a really fun mom, but I think if I did have children, I would probably want to adopt an older kid, you know, one that's kind of like with their windows kind of closing to have kind of like a stable upbringing, you know, because they're getting older. A lot of people want like a fresh little baby, but I'm okay with not having.
So you don't want your own kids. You want to adopt kids.
Yeah. I think my thing for having kids is like already like come and gone. Like if I was gonna have kids, I would have probably wanted to do it younger, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think having an older kid that's, you know, like I said, you know, just doesn't have as much of a chance in the world because their window's closing because not as many people adopt older kids.
You have to build a relationship with them because what if they're fucking nuts?
Oh yeah, but it just takes trust and love and patience.
Oh, what about your partner? He feels the same way. He wants to adopt.
I mean, I was adopted, so I think I can pull that card on him. But I was adopted, okay. You know? So I have that working for me.
Do you run the relationship?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I wouldn't necessarily say it's equal. I think that he definitely wears like the pants, but I mean, sometimes I like to make like plans and make decisions because he's so busy that
what does he do?
Oh, he does a lot of things. A lot of things. But he's mainly a musician. He's been an accomplished drummer since he was in high school. So, yeah, he lived that life. That crazy life on the road.
Yeah, a lot of those rock stars, they love
me, he was like, I'm ready. I've been training my whole life for this.
Yeah, they love the porn stars, the rock stars. That's good, though. It's a good situation.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So who cooks if you don't cook?
Oh, he cooks. I mean, he cooks or we just like order like Postmates. Yeah, but he's an amazing cook.
No way.
I couldn't even believe it. And like, I can only cook like one thing and not very well. So, yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from California my whole life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And nobody's taught you to cook?
I think my parents were just too scared I would like start a fire and burn the house down. So they're like, okay, just stay over there.
Was it because you were a pyromaniac or was it just because you're clumsy in the kitchen?
I'm very clumsy. So that's probably why. But you asked me earlier, like, what's my ethnicity? And I'm half Tijuana and half Irish. I just did the 23andMe. So I just met most of my Tijuana side of the family. And they're really cool. They are very, like, they're all in the medical field. My uncle's a plastic surgeon. My cousin's, like, a model and a nutritionist. And they're all, like, really nice, cool people. A little bit of a language barrier, but, you know, we're working on it. So,
nice. Mm-hmm. When you grew up, like, what kind of culture did you adopt? Did you just like whatever your friends were, or what your parents were?
Yeah, my parents are both white. I mean, my father was Italian American. My mother was from Pasadena, and literally her family came over on the Mayflower. So, yeah. Like,
when did you get into
Mayflower,
porn?
But like they were in Pasadena since like the 1700s.
Oh,
so
wow. So you're like a true Californian.
Yeah, like that was my adopted family. Yes, and my father's mother came from Sicily, and then he was raised in America. So yeah, that's And then they met, they fell in love, and they adopted me.
And they were good to you?
Oh my God,
no weird shit.
No. The best people ever.
Really?
Yeah, very best people ever. Maybe a little overprotective, which probably explains why I did porn later on. But just amazing people. Like I grew up with all the love, everything I could have ever wanted. They were just amazing people.
What made you go into porn? Like, how did you get there?
Well, so when I was like 18, I kind of was just like kind of a natural progression because of what my needs were and what I was able to like, what I was okay with doing. Like I was kind of started out like dancing and then webcamming, and then it was kind of just like a natural progression to that. I also wasn't reliant on my family for anything. I mean, if they were helping me out financially, that'd be a different story. Because I would be like, oh, I don't want to disappoint my parents, but they weren't. I mean, my mother passed away. My father had lost his job, so I kind of really was on my own. I didn't have any other like family to help support me, so it was kind of a perfect like storm of things that kind of just was like, all right, well, I'm okay with this, so I'm gonna just do it. Even though I had an education with like cosmetology, that was still more successful for me than that. So it's kind of how it happened.
What'd your dad think when you started it?
I don't even care what he thinks.
Did he say anything about it afterwards?
Well, he can't say anything. He said, well, you're not in jail. You're not asking me for money. So what can I say? You're an adult, you know? So.
You guys still in touch now?
Yeah, we are. Mm-hmm.
Do you still do porn?
I do my OnlyFans and things like that. Because now it's different. You know, the game is changing. So now we're kind of in control more of what we do when, and don't have to like listen to or answer to any other like entity. But yeah, I'm doing more like OnlyFans, loyal fans, and things like that. Mm-hmm.
Changing for the better.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's different, but different in a good way, you know, in a more controlled way, and possibilities are endless now. So,
what do you think about the influx of like all these girls that are joining OnlyFans and starting to express themselves in this way and put out content?
They say that the market's oversaturated now, but I don't really buy too much into that. I think that, you know, there's somebody out there for everybody, and everybody has different tastes, and it really is about the work you put in and how much you dedicate to it, really. But I think it's cool. I mean, I think it's liberating. And I think that the stigma and social stigma it's just so different than it was even 10 years ago. Because, you know, with my product, a lot of my partners were like, oh my gosh, we can't mention that there's a porn star attached to this. But they're so much older than me. So I was like, well, why not? Like, it's literally a product about a vagina. Like, who better know about a vagina than me?
The product she's talking about is a vagina tightening bath bomb, just so the audience knows.
Oh, wow.
Not that awesome. You guys need it, but
maybe they do.
Yeah.
We have mostly women like viewers, so.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, because I started it during the pandemic, and with like a mixture that I heard of that women would use back in the day to keep their men interested and at home. Mm-hmm. So I tried it and it worked, but it wasn't convenient. It wasn't like smell like, so like, I wonder if I could do this into a bath bomb, which I did. And it's even more effective than anything. And it works immediately. It works right away.
Really?
It softens, tightens, and it kind of makes it feel like it's the first time, like, you know, like that the first time you kind of get with your partner. It's like
for both parties.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
well, I mean, what do you mean? Of course, it's for both parties if their vagina's tighter.
There's a feedback. It takes two to tango.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody's going in.
Yeah. There's a feedback loop. So,
yeah. But
that's the only feedback you can get, though.
No, it may feel like that for the female. It may not feel like that for the male. Right? Two different perspectives.
Definitely, the guys notice a difference. They don't know exactly what the difference is, but they notice it's something, but it's a good thing. It helps to prevent and treat like vaginal like atrophy and prolapse, but it mostly like it smooths, softens, tightens. It's anti-aging for your whole body because you put it in the bath, and as soon as the bath bomb hits the water, it starts working right away. So yeah, I love it. It's sold at all the Hustler stores nationwide. So.
Oh, that's
and
dope.
on Hustler.com. Yeah.
Wow, That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I did during the pandemical.
To go back to the stigma, because you mentioned the stigma, right?
Yeah.
Should be over with, right? Like the stigma is something of the past. It's like something old. We should be getting over that stigma entirely.
Yeah. I mean, just because, as long as somebody's not hurting children or animals, it's, you know, they're consenting and You know,
what stigma? Dating porn stars?
Yeah, no, just with, or with people,
or
yeah, with people that do sex work or do porn.
You're for it?
Well, yeah, I'm in it.
So. No, I know, but I'm saying just because you're in it, some people could be in something and just be like, yeah, I'm in it, but maybe I wouldn't recommend it like to other women because like I had, you know, I have a lot of things I've done that I'm like, oh, I probably wouldn't tell you not to do that, you know?
Well, that comes with experience, and that comes with discernment. You know, that means that you've experienced the good and bad side of things.
Yeah.
Which I think that should be weighed out, you know, before making a decision like that. Oh, your image is good. You have to kind of consider that. Like, if I were somebody that like, okay, I had parents that like, both parents that loved me and supported me financially, then I wouldn't do it. I probably wouldn't do it. Unless I really wanted to hurt them for some reason. Then it's like, why would you even do that?
Don't do it because you're going to hurt your family. And if you don't really need the money, don't really do it. Only if you're desperate for money.
That is not what she said.
Yes, it is.
Well,
she said,
I mean, I guess you could take it that way. I mean, if you're in a spot where really you can't get out. I mean, and
there's no other way. Yeah. Or you're gonna be fucking homeless. You better spread the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I get it. I'm a woman. You have to use your beauty. Yeah, you have to use your beauty sometimes to get.
You could have done something else, right? You said earlier you could have done cosmetology.
Yeah, but it wouldn't pay the bills.
And it wasn't paying it as fast. And it wasn't getting me out of my situation as quickly. I'll be honest. It really wasn't.
Of course.
She's right. Like, yeah, we do have a window of time to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like that's your only option, but it's a good option. You know, there's an option.
The word you used is discernment.
Yes. Yeah.
You use your discernment.
Yeah, use your discernment.
Because like Mia Khalifa says she regrets it. Like a lot of guys took advantage of her like during the sets. Like sometimes they're like a little rough. I mean, I don't know about a little. It looks like a lot. Really rough,
I mean, did she? I don't think she really did that many scenes, but I'm not really sure. I didn't follow her career that closely.
But have you experienced that? Like where guys have been a little bit like stepping across the boundaries, like treating you like a sex doll?
No.
Never?
Mm-mm.
They've always just respected you?
Well, okay. There was this one time. But it was with a company in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And they're not like a really like mainstream company. It's kind of more like a lower brow, like fetishy kind of clip. Not that fetish is bad. It's not bad. But these people, they left me tied up for like, it felt like an hour. And when you tie somebody up, you're never supposed to leave them. You don't leave the room. That's dangerous. But they did. And I said, where are you guys going? And they all left. And I was in a warehouse in the boiling Las Vegas heat. And I'm like, I need a pee. Like, let me untied. And they would not untie me. So I pissed all over the floor. And when I came back, he just like made his assistant, who's his ex-wife, just clean it up. And I was like, well, why wouldn't you guys untie me? Like, well, it just took too long to tie you up. So we just figured we'd leave you tied. I'm like, that's inhumane. Like and it's fucked up.
That's called trauma.
Yeah. So
don't get into porn.
Yeah. So that traumatized me, but they've never been that unprofessional with me before. So I guess on my end, I just trusted somebody who I thought would be fine and who I've worked with many times before, but they weren't like the most legit company. I never thought they would do anything like this, but they did leave me tied up and they should not have done that.
That's fucked up.
And I did scream. I did yell. I did everything I could have, but there's nothing I could do because I was literally tied up. And for a long time. And then I couldn't get untied. And yeah, they're fucked up for doing that. But that's like the only thing that like happened to me that was like really, I did not feel like respected. I didn't feel like my boundaries were respected. And they did the wrong thing. Like even in the rules of like fetish, that's like, you don't do that. But they're not like legit fetish people. They're just people who like to shoot things that look like fetish, but they're not really legitimate. Because there's rules you have to follow. There's respect you have to have. There's like forms you have to fill out, but they don't have you do any of that. So yeah, fuck them.
Oh my God. Be careful out there.
So yes, please be careful. Have somebody go with you if you need to. If I would have had somebody there for me that was on my team and my team only, then they could have been there for me, but I was all by myself.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't have people to go with them places because people have their own lives. So, but if you had a daughter, I doubt you would tell her to get into porn.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because I would say like, like we and your dad will help you with whatever you need. Like, what is it that you really want to achieve? luckily for me, though, a lot of people's kids don't end up exactly like them. My kid will probably like be a nerd, which is I'm fine with. So
if your daughter came up to you and was like, Mom, I have these kinds of needs. This is what I'm exploring with. I think this is a route I want to take.
I would call her bluff.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a risky bluff to call.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I would take her, chain her to a fucking toilet bowl and leave her there for 3 days and then tell her, to think about what she wants to do. And then, in 3 days, I'd revisit that
You know what? That's a good idea. Like you could hire like some actors, like some crazy like actors with like shoe polish on their teeth and like dirty and be like, you know what? If you want to do this, I'm going to drop you off with your aunt and uncle that you don't know about. And they're like, what? Like, yeah. And like rent out a dirty trailer and like have them but they're actors. So they're safe. You did a background check. And then like, so they would scare them straight. They'd probably they'd be like, oh yeah, this happened to me. You want to end up like this?
I like this because this is charade, right? Yeah. What Elle's talking about is torture. She's talking about torturing her daughter.
She was just tortured, and it wasn't for fake. It was for real.
In an unprofessional setting. Addressing that, right?
But shit happens to women all the fucking time, and we don't know about it, and it's scary, and women are vulnerable, so you got to really be careful when you get into that industry. It's not a joke because they can do all types of shit to you. I've watched porn where it's like they fucking like make the bitches like throw up over and over, and like that can't be fun, bitch. That is not fun. Like you throwing up, you could act like you like it, but that shit can't be fun.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fun?
No. Well, for me, I hate throwing up, but for certain people, I just don't know. I just don't know what their
fetish is,
and also what their boundaries are. But like with what happened with me, I did not like that. I didn't consent to that. I didn't want it. I told them very clearly, and there's nothing I could do. But
what happened when they untied you eventually?
Well, I even pissed on the floor. I was like, I wasn't kidding. I needed to pee, and like you guys wouldn't let me go. They just didn't say anything. They were just they just didn't say anything. It was weird.
So wait, so they were after the scene, before the scene? I'm confused. Okay,
it was during the scene. We had to finish the scene, and then I was like, I need to be untied. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, okay, well, we just have a little bit more to do. Like, we just have 5 more minutes. And I was like, so it's like, but what can I do? I was tied up. They're like, well, we'll untie you after we're done.
So you were tied up during the scene. They didn't leave you. They were just still fucking you.
So I wasn't. I don't know if I wasn't being fucked, but like I was tied up for a scene. I had to like pretend to struggle. Like, oh no, don't tie me up. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, okay, hold on, we got to go do something, and then we'll be right back. I was like, well, can you untie me while you're gone? And they're like, no, we'll just be right back. It'll just be a minute. And I'm like, where are you going? I need to pee. Like, untie me. And they didn't come back for like a long time. It felt like forever, but it was probably like half an hour, 45 minutes or so. But like it was a really long time to leave somebody tied up. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, why would you like leave somebody tied up in a room and leave them? Like, that's not part of the thing.
So now that we see the stigma kind of disappearing, right? We're starting to see some legitimacy behind professionalism.
Yes.
Right? So that's all a good thing.
Yeah.
We have the stigma disappearing.
Where is it disappearing?
Because now things are not being done in the shadows. People can figure out a way to make things more professional. Professional. Things are more regulated, right? On that note, have you ever thought about going into producing?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I think that. Well, even now, even with like Hollywood movies, they have somebody on set for
intimacy coaches.
Yes, they. I've actually met one before, and she was really interesting, and. I think that would be cool if they could have like, an advocate for somebody on set. But like I said, this was like a lowbrow kind of production. So in Las Vegas, but not that all of them in Vegas are. This one just happened to be lowbrow. I should have had somebody with me on my side, but I worked with them all these times before, and nothing like that has ever happened. So I just didn't think they would be capable of doing that. But everybody's capable of something, I guess. But. Yeah, that was just my only like really bad experience that I don't wish on anybody. But yeah, so I called them out on Twitter though, and I was like, "Don't work with them. They let me tied up." And then,
good for you.
Yeah, and they're like, "Take it down." I was like, "No, I'm not taking nothing down." And then a lot of people were like, "Oh wow, I'm never gonna work with them. Wow, that's really messed up. Like, wow, they shouldn't have done that." And I was like, "Okay, good. At least I could get the word out there, and they can't deny it because it happened." Yeah. So fuck those people.
Fuck those people.
Yeah.
So starting your own production, that's been in the back of your mind.
I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about it because I've done casting a lot. Casting for different like things and like things and companies, and that I'm good at. I'm good at finding talent for things. I'm good at communicating with talent. I'm good at, and I like seeing things like all kind of come together when they're following like the direction of the creative director and everything's coming together so beautifully. That's really fun, and yeah, I like behind the scenes. I like in front of the scenes. I kind of like it all.
That's awesome.
Do you like something with a story?
Yeah, story or no story. But why do you like something with a story?
It's one of my buddies is a writer, and when things got tough, that's what he would go do. He would submit scripts for porn as a writer, and he got paid like anywhere between $100 and like $1,000 per script that he would submit.
I wonder if I've done any of the porns that he's written a script for.
It's so fun. He does a lot of like punch up comedy writing. You can see it's very much reflected in the scenes that he wrote. And I always thought, because he legitimately worked really hard on structuring a story. Like,
I've gotten some really legit
I'm like, oh my
scripts.
God. Dude.
I'm like, this is a
like,
Final Draft Pro
this?
or what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what he's drafting it on. I'm like, who is watching this? Like, who's your audience actually? And he's like, they're paying me to do it. Like,
how did you meet your fiance?
Well, through a friend during the worst time to meet somebody during the pandemic.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But I met him through a friend of mine, and yeah, we kind of like hooked up like the first night we met. And then it was kind of like, amazing from there. Like, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, how did you date before that? Or were you just like going through it like
but
the rest
same
of
way.
us?
I met my ex the same way. We hooked up like the first day we met too.
Oh my.
Because I mean, I know they say, "Oh, don't do that," but sometimes it works out. I mean, because then you get that out of the way. You're like, okay, good. Like they're good in bed. I'm good in bed. We're good. We're compatible. Step 2, But yeah, I don't recommend it for everybody every time, but sometimes it works out. It worked out for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go through like another checklist with him? Did you go through like he's financially stable?
Well, yeah, because he moved me in like 2 weeks after we met.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, look, I don't like cook or clean or anything. Like I have a cleaning lady. She comes like twice, 3 times a month. Like I don't cook, just so you know. And I'm kind of like all over the place. So
you're just like
I told him
a sex.
Well, I mean, I told him like my worst parts. I'm like, this is just so you know, like I'm not like I wasn't like this is not what I'm used to doing. So if this is what you're looking for, like I'm just letting you know right now, like I can't be this woman and pretend like I am.
You made up for it in other ways.
But I said,
an open-minded porn star who will fuck him as much as he wants.
But and accept him for exactly who he is, and not try to like challenge him in ways that like or be disrespectful or be like, I really understand him as a man and as a human.
You seem very feminine, even though you don't cook or clean. But you seem like sensual, like candles and.
Well, the relationship's not just about screwing all the time, right?
Yeah,
you have a legitimate relationship in which 2 people are sharing intimacy, like emotionally and spiritually.
Of course. And exploring, you explore things about the other person that they find interesting, and then they explore things about you that you find interesting, and you also explore things like together and have experiences. And
what part of town do you live in?
I came here from like East Hollywood, like right in the middle of it all. Right in the middle of the mess.
So what do you guys do as a couple for fun that's not obviously screwing?
Oh, okay. When we're not fucking. Well, when I come up for air, we like to, I mean, honestly, like, living in LA, it's such a congested place. We really like to
staying home.
Well, staying home is fine, but like, we really like going out into nature. Like we just went to Oregon, which was beautiful.
Did you guys do shrooms while you were out there?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we tried this thing called a disco disc.
What's the hell is that?
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's like, okay, so it's like this chocolate bar, and it's shaped like a disco ball. And even when you open it, it's like a little disco ball. And you break it into, it's like 4 pieces you could break it into, and you have like 1 piece each. And so the whole bar, I think, is like 1/2. So it's a good time. Like it was a really good experience. And it was delicious.
It's shrooms? Mm-hmm. I saw like a bowl, like a hot chocolate bowl. You can put it in your drink and it melts.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
That sounds like some interesting hot chocolate.
For those chilly nights, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, in the desert, seeing coyotes afterwards.
I had chocolate in my fridge, like mushroom chocolate that's just sitting there, and I had a new au pair, which is like a nanny, and she thought it was regular chocolate, and she put it in her yogurt, right? So she knocks on my door, and she was like, "Can I ask you something? Is this regular chocolate?
Oh my god!
Is this chocolate because?" She's like, "I feel dizzy."
Oh my god!
I laughing.
You're like, yeah, just watch my kids.
She texted me. I could not stop laughing.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's messed up. Like when somebody doesn't know that they're ingesting shrooms.
Yeah,
like,
she's never done that before either. You know.
Luckily though, like depending how long you've had it in your fridge, I heard it loses potency.
Does it?
It's not as strong as it was when you first opened it. No, that's what I've heard. But
I have no idea.
She it was potent for her.
Yeah.
No, well, okay. I said, how much did you have? A little or a lot? She's like, I think a lot.
Oh my god.
I was like, listen, just go look outside at the trees. Yes, you know what I mean? But she didn't really understand what I was saying. Mm. She's from Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say to either like go outside and walk around, like look at nature, or like watch a really like good psychedelic kind of like movie, or like a Disney movie or something.
Really? I never did that before.
Fantasia.
Yeah. Or like Wreck-It Ralph or something. Like anything, yeah.
You watch Wreck-It Ralph?
I have before with my friend because she's never done shrooms before, and I was like, all right, let's just watch this movie because it was at nighttime. Like,
I've never watched a movie on shrooms.
Yeah.
Is it cool?
Yeah, it was cool because I was kind of watching her we did a therapeutic dose, so I was like watching her like interpret the movie her own way and like solve all her own issues that she had, and it was like watching her go through 10 years of therapy in like one movie. It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, she cried, we hugged, it was cool.
Maybe I should do that when I go home today. Just take some shrooms and watch a movie.
Yeah, because you kind of interpret it like in different ways that you never did before, but in ways that relate to you.
Yeah. So
you're like, oh, aha, like this made me realize this.
Yeah, I love shrooms.
Me too.
One of the first times I was involved in doing it, very young, I had my parents get me a hotel room. Mm-hmm. We had a hotel room party.
What? That's awesome.
I was like 16, and I had like a video camera glued to my hand the entire time.
Oh,
and I'll never forget my friend Josh. He ended up eating way too much. It turned on him. It was a terrible trip. All of us were like laughing and singing and dancing, and the entire time I just have the camera pointed at him
Josh.
while he was having the worst trip ever. And I still have I watched that video and I'm like, this is definitely a PSA. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, this will happen. He was crying over this girl that he would like totally had a crush on, and she ended up sleeping with one of his friends. It was absolutely horrible. I was like,
and you guys were like, la, la,
yeah, we're like,
la, la.
I was like, God, I'm so glad that never happened to me, but it's so awful. Like, if that ever does happen to somebody, like where the trip turns on them.
Yeah, because I mean, it is up to the friends who are also on shrooms to kind of be like, "Hey,
yeah,
buddy,
you need to be
okay?
you need to be with the right people,
yeah, good people.
Yeah,
yeah.
And you have to,
not teenagers with a camera,
and you have to be like in a good mood before you start. Like, you can't be like in a bad mood or stressed, or
you can't have like a job interview the next day or anything.
Right,
like,
nothing the next day.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they're really fun, and like I've had good experiences. I have had my like weird experiences on them because I got like a phone call right in the middle that I was not ready for, and it totally took me out of it, and I was like, no, that sucked. But yeah.
Do you work out?
Me, I do like yoga, and I do like I'm like trying to do like my pole work and stuff because I do like dance a lot. Yeah, so
who else would she be talking to when she asked that question, Christiana?
What did I say?
She asked, "Do you work out?" and you said, "Me."
Oh, like, oh my God, I did?
She's not talking to me. Yeah, like, duh.
What a bonehead. I'm sorry.
Let's get real. Yeah.
Yes, I guess you could call it working out.
So
I worked out last night because I knew I was going to be here.
You look good.
Oh, thank you.
You look really pretty.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you go to swingers parties?
So I guess you could call them swingers parties.
Tell me about them.
I've been to like the ones where you probably wouldn't even want to like touch any surfaces, and I've been to the most high end ones. I've been to them all.
Tell me like the most interesting, like like something people would want to know, like because like most people don't do that type of shit. Only it's a specific group.
We need a clip for IG. Let's get a good clip.
Okay, so if I'm gonna do a sex party, I'm gonna do something like gonna do a sex party.
No, the sickest sex party. We'll get to that too. But what you would do? But tell me your sickest sex party experience. Like something sick.
Okay, I can't say who, but I've seen celebrities who you would recognize right now, like fucking everywhere. Like people were fucking everywhere.
Okay, so tell me. Okay, I need like a step by step. Like, okay, where do you go? What does it look like? How does it work?
Okay, so what it looks like is like when you walk in, you know, you're wearing like kind of like a mask, like on your eyes.
You have to wear a mask.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
and, like,
so everyone. Wait, hold on. Everyone has to wear a mask. Okay, what else?
Okay, and you're wearing like you're with your dude. He's wearing like a tux, and you're wearing like
is he wearing a mask too?
Yeah, like
so
a Zorro mask.
The girls and the guys are wearing a mask. Okay,
and then,
who invites you to these things?
Well, they're like an application process, so they have to like vet the people out that are even able to come to the party. They vet them out, make sure that they don't have any like violent offenses, and make sure that they don't have any. They just check their background, and they also check who referred them. They check referrals, and then they.
What about STDs?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, there's condoms everywhere, and me being on the side that's like the talent at the party, like doing like a show in the middle of the party. We do have to get tested.
So you get tested before the party. Mm-hmm. So the girl, so
my holes are open and ready to go.
Oh, you're saying from you have your own test results from before, or they test you when you get there?
No. They don't test you when you get there.
So you have your own test results. Okay.
Yeah, cool. I have my own.
So you just know your own status is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, so you and your
But
your
a lot
partner,
of the people that are there are like couples that are there exploring this like the same way you are.
But is it different groups of couples? Like one party has like a specific like type of couple, and then there's like the ratchety couple. Like
no, they're all pretty much on a level playing field. They're all like, because you have to pay like, you know, it's not like cheap party to get into.
Oh, it's not. You have to pay to go to the party.
There's ones that I've been to that are extremely cheap to get into, and that you'll find everything. Like, you know, like what you said, like you'll find everything.
What is the price for this party?
So there's like a membership. And there's also like you pay per party, but if you're gonna pay a couple of parties, you might as well get the membership. And go to all
what's
of them.
The price though?
The membership fee, I think it's like $15,000 a year.
What?
Hey, that's not bad actually.
Right?
I thought that was gonna be way higher.
Yeah.
What do you know about fucking sex parties?
What don't I know about
them?
Ew. Wait, hold on. $15,000 a year?
Yeah, but you could go to like all the parties all over the country. Yeah.
How often do these parties occur?
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Mm-hmm. $15,000 twice a month, and then you just fuck who? Okay, so you get in there.
So everybody that's
you're wearing a mask. You guys know each other.
My guy that I showed up with?
No. The people.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen people that you would recognize. Yeah, I can't say who because I like to protect the privacy. But like, yeah, there's people there that you would recognize very, very well. I mean, there's people there, but their anonymity is protected, their privacy is protected. Even if they're wearing a mask or they take it off or they're not wearing a mask, like it's a respect thing, and it's also just a privacy thing. Like they're feeling safe and they're able to let go and be truly freaky, and it's really a turn on seeing somebody that you recognize that like, wow, they're a freak like me. We're all kind of the same.
Okay.
You know?
So you get in there with your partner, and then what happens when you go in there?
So
how does it work?
So how it works is like there's different rooms where like different things are going on. Like, so there's like one room with like rubber sheets where like somebody's like these girls are like oiled all up and like rolling all around them, and like a lot of girls on one bed, and that's cool. And then there's like another room where there's like one guy and he's fucking like two, 3 girls at a time. What?
Sorry, I'm sorry. So these girls that are rolling around, they're at the party or they work for the party?
I think that they're at the party. I mean, because I know who the characters like are and when they're doing their shows, and the show is kind of more of like at first I was like, oh wow, these people must be hired by the party because they're so down. But then I was like, oh, that's not the show, that's the show happening over here. Like, damn, okay. Like,
so there's a show happening.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So there's a show.
But some people are like so like into each other, into what they're doing, that they don't even know that there's a show going on.
How do you go to, like, some guy will grab you? Like, how does it, like, you'll grab a guy or you grab a girl? Like, how does it work?
So what my partner does, he's like, don't come back here until you have like a girl that you like and bring her back here with you. And I said, okay. So I found like a really like hot, like cute, like girl. She's super exotic looking.
A unicorn?
No, she's with her husband. And I said, I've been checking you out all night long. I said, you know, do you want to come play? And she's like, yes, I've been looking at you all night long. And she grabbed her husband, and so we just like went at it. You had
a foursome?
We just like went at it. There was another time where we grabbed.
But when you say went at, was it you and
me
the
and
girl?
Her, yeah,
you and her?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what about the husbands? They watched?
Yeah, they watched. There was another time where like this hot Russian couple grabbed us, and we were like, okay, but so we wanted to swap, but like but when my guy was making out with her, she was kind of like all like rolling. She's like on ecstasy, but she was a little too gone. He's like, I can't do this. She's on a good one. So I said, okay.
Because he felt like it wasn't consensual?
Well, he just didn't want to even feel like it wouldn't be for any, he's just like, she's just really rolling like a ball. Like she was just like, he's like, I can't do this. She's a little bit too much. And I said, okay, so it was okay if we still do it. He's like, yeah. He's like, I want to watch. And so it was hot. Like, the guy put on a condom on, he was behind me, like we fucked, and then he like came, and it was really hot. I felt like amazing after. I was like, yeah.
Okay, so then what happens when you're done? You leave? Or do you keep watching?
We'll keep going. I mean, we're pretty much there until like the end, which is like 3-4 in the morning. Like,
you just watch? Like after you come, like, aren't you like, ugh, get away from me?
Well, get away from me. I mean, sometimes I could see certain people wanting to leave after. They're like, wow, I've already like gotten with like all these girls. Like, what else is there to do? I'm just gonna go.
What is wrong with you? I'm asking you real questions. I'm sure people want to know what the fuck. We don't know. I've never been to no fucking sex party. Actually, I have.
There's one on Saturday. You want to go?
No. I went to one sex party by accident. Ooh. When I lived in New York, when I was younger, I was like 20 or something. They were like, you want to go to this party? And it was like an apartment in Manhattan, and each room was like themed, and it was just like dildos everywhere. And I was like, I ran the fuck
like
out.
Community dildos?
Yeah, no, I ran out of there. But I've never been to a sex party.
I went to one in New York that was in an old escape house. Like where they had to do the escape rooms, where there's like different themes, and there's like a cop room, and there was like an insane asylum, and like a hospital room. There was different rooms, and wait, there was condoms and lube like everywhere.
You could bring people too? Like, let's say I was like, yeah, I want to come. I don't. But let's say I did, right? Well, you can just bring me with you. I'd have to pay.
Well, if you're a beautiful girl, just coming just you, I would like submit your information to them and some pictures. And then they would get back to me with like, oh, yeah, looks good. If she's like, your friend, since I'm like a well-known person at the thing, they'd be like, okay, well, you vouch for her. Okay, good. She could come, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything at all. Even if somebody asks you if you want to do something, if you don't want to do it, you just say, no, I'm good. Like, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to.
But is it like a fuck fest? Like everyone's fucking each other? Like you're confused? Like what the fuck is going on? Or is it like set in rooms?
It's like in a cartoon, like, like when they're like fighting, and just it's like a puff of air of like little arms and legs.
you do not sound like you'd be fun at a sex party.
I want to know what's. I think people would want to know. Like the world would want to know what the fuck. We've never been to no sex parties. I've never I've heard of these things, but I've never been to one. I'm too stuck up to go to a sex party.
Well, I mean, especially if you're stuck up, these kind of sex parties, I think, would be like the top of the line for you, because it's really hot people and really attractive people and really sexy people, and it's like live porn.
Yeah,
but you're also watching like real intimacy, because there's no cameras there. They're not performing for anybody. They really just are.
They're just sick,
and it's
and you're not getting paid to be there. You're paying.
There's a social contract.
Yes.
They're freaks. She just said they're fucking freaks. They're
For me, I get really turned on by watching like real intimacy. Like, so the kind of porn I like, I don't really watch like porn like everybody else watches porn because I know these people and I'm like, and it's just different because I've been on this set and like I just
know
I know
how
the
it
sausage
works.
is made, I guess. But
yeah.
I like to watch like real people, like even if they're not like super attractive. I'm like just seeing something real and real intimacy. I'm like I really get off on that shit because
like amateur porn.
Yeah, amateur, extremely like real people, like real everyday people. Like that's what I really like.
Yeah, porn is like overrated. Like
that's what I get off on because I'm like, oh wow, she's really coming and like he's really like you know what I mean. And just they know each other so well, and yeah, that's the kind of porn I like.
That's fire. What kind of porn does your boyfriend, your fiance like?
Like, you know, well, we both like weird stuff too. Like, like the cartoons. Like, I know
the anime.
Yeah, like the anime.
I don't get
stuff
that.
Like that.
I've never watched it, but I've heard people
just
are
because
into
it's like I don't know. I think they make it so it like. It's like it's sexy, like it turns you on, kind of. But it's like different.
It turns certain people.
Yeah,
on.
it turns certain people, weird people like me. But and also like I like watching, like reality porn and stuff like that.
So how much porn do you watch? So now you're in porn, right? So you're like your whole life is porn. Are you like sick of watching porn, or do you watch? No, I mean, it on the TV?
No. We watch like when we're like getting down and when we're like it's just on. So it's like only like when we're like doing like sex, but not every time, but just sometimes it's fun. A lot of couples
is it sometimes just on the TV?
No,
only
not
if
like
you're
when you walk in our house. It's just like.
I just wanted to know.
That's a crazy MTV Cribs episode. Go to Christiana's house. It's just on every flat screen TV.
It's all blurred out.
Is there
I would do
pictures
that.
of you all over the house, like looking sexy?
So where I lived before I moved in, yes, my apartment was like a shrine to me because I just have so many posters and so many cardboard cutouts and so many things like so now
and stickers.
Yes. So but now my personal storage is like that now. It's just like one side is all me, all my posters, all my cardboard cutouts, and then the other side is like all his drums and all his gear and all his like recording studio stuff.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You guys sound like a fun couple.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
We would love to like virtually come to your sex party. If I could put the fucking VR headset and just come in that way and just I could take it off when I'm
that would be sick.
Shocked.
You could go into different rooms too, like, oh, what's happening in this room?
Yeah.
What's happening in that room?
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you could
nobody will even know I'm in there.
This is a business idea that's exclusive to this table.
I'm sure they're doing it.
Patent pending.
We've tried. When I was working for Penthouse, we really tried, and it takes a lot. Because she was trying to have people like in the trapeze, like fucking up in the air. Like it's a lot to do like a big party like that where somebody's moving through the party. It takes a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But we're technology's getting there. If we could go to space, we could do that.
We are there with live broadcasts. We have 5 minutes.
No, I want to use them, so we're gonna have to wrap up.
Yeah, so let's final notes.
Yeah. No, there's no. Yeah, final. What does a final note mean?
What do you want to use the last 5 minutes for?
Because I wrote something down I wanted to say.
Say
it.
Yeah.
No.
No, you want to say it off camera?
Forget it. Sorry, we don't really communicate that much outside of we're not on the same page.
A few text messages. Really appreciate you.
You seem like you'd be a blast at a sex party.
I'm a blast all the time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Please take Sebastian to I might pay for Sebastian to go with her to a sex party because I think he needs it. So I really think you should.
I think you'd be so much fun.
Yeah, you'll be mad fun, and then maybe you'll cheer the fuck up. You know,
because I'm grumpy all of a sudden. I really appreciate you sharing your stories with us today. I appreciate your perspective. Thank you very much for coming.
We love your energy. You're beautiful. And I'm so happy you came. The hat obviously symbolizes some type of sex party if nobody noticed. So, yeah, if you're into sex parties, she's the fucking expert. And
yes, come to me. Ask me anything.
Next time we have you on, we'll have you on with your fiance.
Oh,
yeah. I'd love to hear from the both of you guys.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he would love that. He would be really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we love couples.
Oh.
I'm dying to have a couple on just to like ask questions like, oh, what do you like? You know, what do you guys like about each other?
Yeah.
And like, what pisses you off about her? And then, you know, you could be
I'm
like.
interested about that.
You know, like.
I'm sure he has some stories.
Right? But you seem awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. He would love to come on. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's been another episode of Tacos and Shawarma. Thank you guys very much.